There's a place where the digital world and the real world smash into each other. And it's not pretty. It's where the raw instincts of a 1.3-ton Cape buffalo meet the clueless arrogance of a human chasing likes. A place where the laws of nature, which are absolute and don't give second chances, collide with the fleeting high of internet fame. In this world, there are no do overs, no apologies. There's only the brutal final truth that some warnings aren't just suggestions. They're the only thing separating you from a horrifying, violent death. We've all become a little obsessed with curating over lives online. Every moment is a potential post, every view a backdrop, every experience an opportunity for content. But this has given rise to something deeply disturbing. People marching into the wild, not with caution or respect, but with a smartphone, ready to taunt and provoke forces that simply don't understand. They're about clout chasers, treating national parks like movie sets and wild animals like props. They ignore the guides, laugh off the warnings, and step right over safety barriers for that one perfect shot. But here's the thing, the wild doesn't know you have a follower count, it doesn't do negotiations. And when that fantasy of safety shatters, the consequences are fast, brutal, and way too often deadly. These are the stories of people who pay the ultimate price for underestimating nature. Elephants are often painted as these gentle, intelligent giants. And while they're definitely intelligent, that gentle part has a major condition. You have to respect their space. Break that condition, and the results are catastrophic. This isn't a what if scenario, it happens with terrifying regularity. In July of 2024, a 43-year-old Spanish tourist at Pilanesberg National Park in South Africa decided the rules weren't for him. He got out of his car with his fiancee watching to get a better picture of an elephant herd. An adult female, probably seeing him as a threat to her calves, charged. He didn't stand a chance. The entire herd joined in, and he was trampled to death. Park officials later confirmed he'd been warned repeatedly and had even signed forms acknowledging he was to stay in his vehicle. This is a reoccurring nightmare for park rangers. A nearly identical incident happened in Kenya, where a 66-year-old Italian tourist, Fernando Mochalela, was trampled while trying to get a closer photo of an elephant. His wife reportedly begged him not to get so close. He ignored her, and the elephant charged, killing him while he was waiting for a medical airlift. These events are just tragically predictable. A mother elephant protecting her young is one of the most powerful forces on the planet. Experts will tell you again and again that elephants with calves can react with extreme aggression to anything they see as a threat. Then you have the terrifying state known as must. This is when a bull elephant's hormones surge, making them incredibly aggressive and unpredictable. A bull in must has been known to attack rhinos, other elephants, and of course people, often for no reason at all. The desire for a cool close-up, the delusion that the animal is just a tourist attraction, is a fatal mistake. You don't reason with an animal in that state. You just stay far, far away. Ignoring that simple rule isn't brave. It's a death wish. If there's one animal whose cuddly looks had a truly dangerous nature, it's the hippopotamus. These things can weigh over 3 tons and are armed with massive jaws and tusk-like teeth. They are responsible for an estimated 500 human deaths in Africa every single year. They're territorial, aggressive, and way faster than they look. Yet, time and time again, tourists see a big, slow-looking creature and completely drop their guard. Take what happened in August of 2018 on the shore of Lake Naivasha in Kenya. A tourist named Chang Ming Chung was taking photos of a hippo when it suddenly attacked and killed him. His colleagues who were standing nearby was lucky to escape with only minor bruises. A shocking testament to how fast a calm scene can erupt into a fight for your life. Then there's the terrific death of Carol Kirkin, an American on a safari in Tanzania while on a guided tour. Her group was near a hippo when the animal charged out of the water, killing her in front of her son. These aren't just isolated freak incidents. A British man named Roland Cherry was on a canoe safari in Zambia when a hippo rammed his canoe, launching him into the water. The hippo then grabbed him in its mouth and dragged him under before he miraculously escaped with deep scars from a 10-inch bite. The simple truth is, a riverbank isn't a viewing platform. It's a hippo's territory, and they will defend it with deadly force. Getting close for a picture or just underestimating the animal's speed is a gamble with the worst possible odds. Before we continue, these stories are grim, but they're a necessary reminder of how powerful the natural world really is. If you find this kind of deep dive into real world safety valuable, take a second to subscribe and hit the notification bell. It helps me keep bringing these important stories to light. This lethal gamble for social media clout isn't just happening on African savannas. It's right here in America's backyard, especially in national parks like Yellowstone. And the animal at the center of it all, the American bison. These things can weigh a ton and run 3 times faster than you can. Yet tourists constantly walk right up to them, desperate for a selfie. Park Service rules are clear. Stay at least 25 yards away from the bison. But the stories of people ignoring this are endless. In 2022 alone, a 25-year-old woman was gored and tossed 10 feet in the air. And a 35-year-old man was gored while walking near Old Faithful. Video of that incident shows the bull bison charging his family and flinging the man into the air. He was lucky to walk away with only an arm injury. In June of 2020, a 72-year-old woman was repeatedly gored by a bison after approaching it multiple times to get a photo from just 10 feet away. Yellowstone's own bison biologist said the animal was showing clear threat signs. Pawing the ground, snorting, that the woman completely ignored. The pattern is always the same. Someone driven by the need for a photo invades the animal space. They ignore warnings from the park and from the animal itself. They treat a powerful, wild creature like it's a prop for their Instagram feed. The bison, feeling threatened, responds the only way it knows how, with overwhelming bone-crushing force. It's a game of chicken where the person has a smartphone and the bison has a ton of muscle and horns. The bison always wins. It's not just the big animals either. The same arrogance of ignoring life or death warnings extend to other, sneakier dangers. In Uganda, there's a place called Python Cave, a known reservoir for the Marburg virus, a deadly cousin of Ebola. There are clear warnings to stay away, yet one study recorded over 200 different people entering the cave, some just for the thrill of it. None of them contracted the virus, but they gambled not just with their own lives, but with the potential start of a global pandemic. We see the same cavalier attitude at cliff edges and waterfalls. In 2021, Hong Kong influencer Sophia Chung, who was known for taking risky photos, fell to her death from the edge of a waterfall. Her Instagram was a portfolio of risks that finally caught up with her. In Yosemite National Park, 3 young people died after they climbed over a metal guardrail at the top of a 317-foot waterfall to take pictures in the river, just feet from the edge. They lost their footing and were swept over. Even trophy hunting, which is obviously dangerous, isn't immune to this kind of fatal pride. In August of 2025, a 52-year-old American millionaire named Asher Watkins was killed while hunting a 1.3-ton Cape buffalo in South Africa, an animal nicknamed Black Death. Despite being with a professional guide, the buffalo charged suddenly, killing him instantly. It's a grim reminder that even when your goal is to kill the animal, The wilderness can and often does get the final say. From the plains of Africa to the geysers of Yellowstone, the message is brutally simple. Nature is not a theme park. Wild animals aren't props for your social media story. Those warnings, the barriers, the guides, they exist for a reason. They're the product of countless tragic lessons. To ignore them, to think you're the exception, is the ultimate display of arrogance. The hunt for likes and shares has created a culture where people are willing to risk everything for a picture. They're trading their safety for a story, their lives for a video clip. But the wild doesn't do retakes. It offers one final, unedited, and often brutal lesson in humility. The real influencers aren't the people posing with the bison. They're the ones who understand that the greatest sign of respect is keeping your distance. Putting the camera down and realizing that you are just a visitor in a world that was here long before you and will be here long after you're gone. For some, tragically, that's a lesson that they only learn in their final terrifying moments.